Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. Joining us is Chris Medina, and he's a medium. And before we went to break, Lisa Ray and Vivica had strong reactions to Syleena's reading, and I want to get Syleena's take on this. Like, Syleena, how are you feeling about this?
Well,
Did anything resonate with you?
no, it all resonates,
Mhm.
I'm actually very tired of crying.
Yeah.
Let
That's
me just, I
understandable.
just
That's
let
understandable.
me just keep it 100. I'm saying I don't feel like crying. Um, what Chris is talking about, my therapist has said as well. You
Mm.
know, I was abandoned at a very young age and didn't realize it and had to carry a lot on my shoulders in this music business. And I went through a great deal of things. So, and I did it alone, you know. So he's right. He's right on a lot of stuff. He's right. I need to give myself more credit. But losing my father, it's just, I'm not, so I'm not all the way good yet. Okay. So
Mhm.
I'm not really in a mood for this. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't really in a mood for this because, being in the studio this week, really, really, really messed me up. You know how you think during the
Good.
morning process that you're going to be okay, and then something happens and it triggers, and then you're not okay. So I really just wasn't in the mood for this. You know what I'm saying? I thought that I was going to be able to come and sit down and talk about things that don't have anything to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I've already done this crying shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I am in a very emotional, what Chris is saying in terms of emotional transition. I'm hoping that is a transition. I'm just gonna believe that is a transition for the better and the more positive. But you guys know me. You guys know I try to be, I don't like to say strong, I try to be resilient. You know what I'm saying? But a friend of mine this weekend, my producer Toxic, he said, you know, you just have to cry. He said you just have to mourn and you just have to fuck it. He was like, you just gotta cry and just have a time and just keep moving. Just have to, but you have to allow yourself, you know, like Chris was saying, to do it and not beat yourself up about it. But it's very difficult for me to allow that to happen and especially in settings like this. So I didn't want to, I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying? Just FYI, but I am okay, but I'm really
Girl,
not.
I just want to put this out there too. I know you don't know me from a can of paint, but we've got a lot of very similar, you know, energy amongst us here. And if you ever need anything, a shoulder to lean on, support, or even, I mean, I know you're tired of crying, a good laugh. I'm good at joking around here. You hit me up and I got you.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, Syleena, I know you're not in the mood for it. I will tell you, you are touching a lot of people in the chat. If that makes you feel any better, I don't know what can make you feel better right now, but I'm seeing all these hearts for you about your hearts. They got you. The soulmates are like wrapping their collective arms around you right now, actually, in the chat.
And hey, you know what? This is great. This is great news because it's not anything that she hasn't heard before, but this is just seconding the motion, And when you know it and you know better, you can do better. And so this can be the beginning of a whole nother different type of day. So I would say still hold your head up high because that's what you do. Readjust that crown because that's what we do. And start it all over again because that's what we do.
Exactly. That's what a queen does. And one of the best sessions that I tell people, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. What makes it psychic, what makes it medium, what makes it spiritual is that I've never met you before, but we're discussing what's holding you back presently. Like I said at the very beginning, how can we have a fruitful future if you're just not feeling fruity right now? You know what I'm saying? and getting that out of your way and allowing yourself to the opportunity to flow as freely as you possibly can. Are we going to be 100% healed? No, but we have to find a process that works for us. And whatever Syleena's process is, that is meant for her. If she's the kind of person that needs to sit down for a couple minutes and sit on her pity pot and cry it all out, definitely do that. But you got more support than you realize sometimes. And I'm no exception when it comes to that. Like I said, if you need anything, I got you.
I will say people are in the chat and they're, have their questions about the kind of show we're doing tonight. And I understand it's not our usual, but hopefully this isn't just about us. It's about the people that are watching that are in similar positions. Yeah. And this is about getting out of your own way. And I think a lot of times there's stuff that we all could do to get out of our own way.
Well, I think the only queen that's left to have a reading is you,
Claudia. Yeah, I was about to say that.
I had the absolute pleasure speaking to Miss Claudia, the first one, and we were talking about again, one of the things that I love about all four of you is that we can distract ourselves with our work and really throw it in there. Our hustle game is strong and it's hard. And when it comes to her, I was telling her about her current relationship and what's going on with that, and whether or not she is receiving what she needs to receive in this relationship, or she just kind of going through the motions, because that's what I got with her. It's going to be out with the old and in with the new, putting herself first and allowing herself the opportunity. I think to speak up, and I'm going to rephrase that here. I know Claudia, not personally, but I'm again a huge fan of her, and I always watch her stuff. And I feel like what ends up happening with her is that she holds back so much, not out of fear, but because she knows how strong and powerful her words are, that sometimes she can kind of downplay that energy, not to suit her, but to suit everybody else. Does that make sense, Claudia?
Yes.
And so she's reached that point in her path where, again, not like Miss Syleena, where she's going through an emotional and a mental evolution. This is take a good look at myself. She's going to get a lot of mirror reflecting this year. That's going to be a lot of repetition in conversations, like, her friends telling her, you should be doing this, or things that she was just talking about. It's going to be repeated back to her. It's going to be the sign time for her about what she needs to do for herself. And if this relationship, or where she's at currently in her life, isn't suiting her, she knows what needs to be done here. And I think that problem that she has, same that we all have, is that it's such a bitch to have to start all over again.
Ain't that the truth?
But you and I both know, again, if it's one thing that the one thing that you guys all got in common here is that resilience and that strength that you have. You're going to be just fine. And this is going to be that when I say come to Jesus moment, it's going to be that come to Jesus moment about yourself, what my needs are and what I want, and not settling for it or feeling like you have to play ball all the time because people probably tell you, oh, you can be too hard, you can do this or whatever, and make you even question your own self.
Chris, do you use these powers? Like, does this hurt you or help you in your own relationships? Because if I had psychic ability, first of all, I'd be a multi-millionaire from the casinos. That's number one. Second of all, I would be like, I don't know if I'd be able to use that power properly. So,
no,
you cheat?
It's a double-digit years now that I've been single because of me using my ability the wrong way, knowing that the relationship was going to be 2 months long, 2 weeks long, whatever the case was, and really manipulating that person. Because again, I just like everybody, I struggle with those abandonment issues, that self-worth and all that. So my guides came in and said, you keep doing that, you keep messing with it and not learning the lesson you're supposed to be learning when it comes to you and them. We're not going to give you insight into this. And right now, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not ready for it.
Mm-hmm.